Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Well, let's assume that additional people will filter in as they get off of their prior meetings. But we can go ahead and get started. Howdy, everybody. This is the monthly general tag meeting for tag contributor strategy of the CNCF. This is an official meeting. As such, it is under the CNCF Code of Conduct, as well as it is being recorded and will be posted on YouTube later on when I get around to it. Speaking of which, there's supposed to be a way for it to set up automatic streaming to YouTube, but I had some problems with it, and I have been going back and forth with Jiffy, who's been on PTO, so that'll get straightened out maybe next week. In the meantime, because we have at least one person who I've not seen in this meeting before, let's do just a quick round of introductions. I'm Josh Burkus. I am co-chair of the tag, and Carolyn.
Yeah, hi, I'm Carolyn Van Slyke. I am the tech lead, and I also help run the contributor growth working group. Catherine, go.
It's a good thing to kind of ask the next one. So I'm Catherine, and I I'm from Buoyant, the Linkerd maintainers, and I'm helping a lot with marketing and getting the word out of the tag. Jay.
Well, kia ora, I'm Jay. I'm a co-chair of the mentoring working group. Rian.
I'm Marianne. I'm with II New Zealand, and I help with the mentoring working group and hang out here to hear what's happening. And let's do Kathy.
Hi, yeah, I'm Kathy. I'm from the CNCF TOC. Yeah, for this tag.
Okay, and Sanskar?
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Sanskar, and I'm LFX mentee for CNCF Tag Contributor Strategy project that is related to community infrastructure extending. And I was so looking forward to today's meeting to introduce myself to everyone. And I will be working under the guidance of Hippie Hacker. And also, I've thought of getting myself involved with core tech things that CNCF Tag Contributor Strategy is involved with, such as GitHub Action Automation and different sort of automation stuffs that I think Caroline is leading. So right now I'm like a bit under the crunch time because like there were lots of programs I was previously involved with, Alibaba Summer of Code and Google Summer of Code. They all had graduation time right now. So this week was a bit hectic. I just got wrapped up everything, and I'm trying to get myself into the zone to get started with my current project, that is community infrastructure one. So yeah, right now I'm a bit busy, but very soon I will definitely start taking some initiative and helping Caroline and others and infrastructure things. So that's all.
Oh, that's great. I'm so glad you're here.
Sanskar is joining the II team, so I will be helping him and meeting with him. So
yeah,
nice to have you here.
Yeah, thanks.
I think Nate is missing.
There we go. Getting unmuted sometimes is trickier than you'd expect. Hello, everyone. I'm Nate W. And I am a developer advocate with the CNCF, and am Jay's co-chair on the mentoring working group. So yeah, I'm very happy to see everybody here in Sanskar. Welcome. Very, very excited to see what you get up to next.
Thanks, Nate.
Well, and I think Noah is next.
Yeah, I'll go. Hi, I'm Noah. I don't have a particular role within this tag yet, but I'm here because it aligns very directly with my day job of enabling contributors and helping people grow. Most of my work has been from Kubernetes SIG contribx, where I am running the non-code contributors project. And we have another guest who joined in after introduction started. Gatwiri, would you like to introduce yourself? Possibly not.
Where if you're speaking, your sound is not working.
Yeah, I think sound is not working, but because I see the mute, unmute. So can use the chat.
Okay, well, when you figure it out, you can introduce yourself. And if you don't get sound working, then go ahead and introduce yourself in chat. Okay, and in the meantime, let's get into working group reports. So mentoring working group.
Okay, hello everyone again. So we are we've had I think we're about a month into it now, and we're still at the point of drafting sort of ideas and planning ahead to see what the work of the working group is. And so that's sort of been the primary goal of meetings over the last few weeks. We've also got KubeCon presentation preparation ongoing. It's coming up. And we've also, as an aside, part of the Google Summer of Code, and we have CNCF marketing help with this, but we've offered to help promote the program by participating in a video series that Google is putting together. So that'll probably happen in early October, and so we'll give updates as to what that is and what we're doing with it as we're moving forward. Is there anything I've missed, Jay?
No, covered it well.
I have a question here. I remember in last meeting we talked about how we connect the projects which need new contributors or new maintainers with people who would like to contribute, and to see which area they should contribute or they can contribute. So I'm not sure how that is going. But we discussed this in the TOC meeting, yeah, and we think this is a very good initiative. We really need it. So to help with that, I think there's one suggestion is, so even like we have something like a job board or whatever name we give it, something like that, right? But we have the people sign up, and we know which project needs new contributors, right? But how to help those new people ramp up quickly. So we need to have some kind of apprentice or like mentorship, set up for that. So existing project maintainers, need to really help those new developers to ramp up.
Right.
So how we can put this into, I'm not sure whether should we put this into the mentoring working group, or should we put this into the contributor growth work group? But we need to fill this gap. So just connect them, but also we need help the new people ramp up.
Right.
Otherwise, they cannot become maintainers because each project is complicated, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And to that, part of the conversations we've had are improving how we're communicating some of what we're doing. I think that right now we are sending folks to the GitHub repo. And this isn't sort of, we haven't made this decision. We haven't sort of, this is just part of discussions that we're thinking, okay, what are the things that we should do? And we'll be presenting that to the working group next meeting probably. But one of the ideas is looking at how the contributor.cncf.io website has progressed, and seeing if we can't do the same treatment for mentorship or mentoring.cncf.io and take some of the information that we've got in the repo and surface that in a much more user-friendly or human-friendly way to help folks understand what's happening and where. And it sounds like you're talking at a sort of a higher level where we've got a need to connect new contributors and projects, even outside of mentorship. I think you're absolutely right. I think the mentorship program is a place that we can help bridge that gap.
Yeah, that's great. I'm thinking, here's my thought. I'm thinking, when I'm not sure whether we will have that kind of like job board or whatever, right? So when each project say, okay, I need new contributors or new maintainers, right? When they ask for that, or we get it from, or this group, this tag, get it from the annual report, because I see the Kubernetes annual report, they have their, what they need. They have one section which is, what help, which SIG or which area they need, maintainers or contributors, right? So when they have that, we probably can put in place saying, when you need that, please also sign up. The maintainers, current maintainers also need to sign up as a mentor, for the new contributor. Yeah, something like that. So we connect the dots, you ask for help. Yeah, we connect. This tag will connect you with, new developers who would like to contribute, right? We also ask the projects, who need help to sign up for mentorship.
Yeah, I wonder if currently one of the goals of the mentorship program generally, the CNCF, is to have 100 mentees go through the program, 100 plus. I wonder if an additional goal might be to increase the number of projects availing themselves of the mentorship program. So we've got 140 projects right now. Could we say, all right, we would like to have 40 different projects participate in a given year? I'm picking numbers out of the air, but I'm wondering if adding that as a stated goal might be helpful again in trying to bridge that gap there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
One other thing I was going to add there is that part of this that none of us have really had time to work on, because I've been busy and Paris has been out and that sort of thing, is redocumenting some of the stuff that we did for Kubernetes in terms of mentoring people who are sort of higher on the contributor stack. Because one of your problems you're going to have with broadening the number of projects is that there are a lot of projects that are really not in a position where they can afford to mentor an intern, basically. That's always been the problem with the internship programs, is the internship programs are great if you have the time, but if you're in a situation where you're already sort of behind in terms of having sustaining contributors, you're not really in a position to start with entry-level contributors, if you follow me. And so part of that's going to be, I guess, sort of mentoring the sort of other kinds of contributors, right? People who are crossing from one cloud native project to another, people who are now assigned by their employer, but have no experience with the project, but are experienced programmers. Because I mean, part of it is there's a lot of structure for the internship programs. There is not a lot of structure for mentoring experienced contributors.
Yeah. I remember last time we discussed something like this, how we connect these two parties, right? Have we decided how we're going to get information about like which projects need, contributors or maintainers? Have we sorted that out, or we're still working on that?
I'm sorry, I was distracted. Could you repeat that? I apologize.
Oh,
So
okay.
identifying who needs contributors in terms of projects.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think I completely agree. It's right now it is a voluntary system. I email, or we email the TOC email list as a sort of a primary communication point for projects. A lot of the maintainers are on that list, and so at the beginning of the program, when we open things up, we say, hey, we're open for projects, and then projects and maintainers who have a need or have an idea then open up a PR on the repo and say, okay, this is the project that I'd like to have help with. And so there's not a lot, other than that, it's not a particularly formal process, and we don't dig. We put it out there, and whomever is interested participates.
Okay. And I'm actually gonna cut this off because I think we do have a mentoring meeting next week. And Kathy's brought up a lot of stuff for discussion in terms of the mentoring working group program and direction and that sort of thing. And I think it would be good to add these to the agenda of the mentoring meeting, just because we do have other stuff to get through, including things that have deadlines in the next week that are on the agenda. So Kathy, are you invited to the mentoring working group meeting as well? That's Tuesday.
Yeah, I think so. But I think this one probably is not just related to mentoring. I think this is how we connect the projects with contributors. It's just mentoring, just one aspect of it. Okay. Yeah, but I know you have other agendas. Yeah, I just want to raise this issue so we continue working on this because we think this is important. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So speaking of which, contributor growth.
Yeah. I missed the last contributor growth meeting, so I can't give a ton of updates on that. I don't know if anyone who's there wants to give some highlights.
I was there, but I have to look at the minutes.
Sorry. But otherwise, Karen and I started working on one of the issues that Dawn had created about providing a guide for how to run a meeting and make sure that everyone has a chance to participate, how to facilitate, things like that. The thing that I'm most interested in doing is, everyone has an idea of how to run a meeting. I wanted to interview other maintainers and sit in on some other CNCF project meetings and kind of get a feel for what people are doing well and kind of see some of this in action. And so Josh, we're going to be bugging you because you run a lot of meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll dump some notes on you.
Great.
Okay. Yeah. So for the last meeting, I'm actually in touch with somebody else. Karen, do you want to supply a summary? You were in the last contributor growth meeting.
Was I there? I didn't think I was there.
You were there.
Oh, okay.
The funny thing is, I'm actually looking at it. We've got like 2 pages of notes. We discussed a lot of
it. was a big meeting. I feel bad. This is the one I missed.
It was a big meeting, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'll summarize that. So we actually had a fairly long discussion about the contributor infrastructure initiative. And by the way, one of the things we decided to do was to rename it contributor infrastructure instead of community infrastructure, because
makes
one of the
sense.
problems we realized was coming up because of a question somebody asked in the meeting was, there were community infrastructure. Oh, you mean like chat channels? And we were like, oh, maybe we should rename this. So it is now contributor infrastructure. And there was a lot of discussion about tools and needs and other things. And really, I will get the videos up tomorrow so you can actually watch that. Another summary on the New Zealand activities for the mentoring working group. Noah introduced his revived effort for non-code contributor guide, which he's trying to make broader and not just Kubernetes. One of the things, and this relates to Kathy's question that had come up in a prior tag meeting, was the idea of having a contributor job board. And there's an issue on that. The main thing is that this is nobody's primary task right now. So, and I'll say from my experience working on that as Kubernetes, it needs to be somebody's primary task or it won't happen. And then discussion on the contributor survey, which we're going to be discussing later in the agenda today. Okay.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep. Okay, for governance working group, we're helping a few individual projects with governance. There was discussion from the TOC about making that more of a formal process when projects reach incubating. That is, hey, you've reached incubating, talk to the governance working group. Because that almost inevitably happens anyway, but often it waits until they are ready to apply for graduated, which is actually kind of late, particularly because the TOC is looking at adopting a provision that would require them to operate their new governance for 6 or 12 months before they're allowed to apply for graduated. So don't have that out yet. We need to figure that out. Trying to merge in the docs for the federated stuff. Carolyn gave me some extra framing that needs to be added to that. One of my questions here, which is actually more of sort of a tag question and policy question of how we maintain our docs, which is, in cases of places where we know we are going to need to have docs, but they're not written yet, do we want to have stubs, which is how I actually compose that PR? Or do we want to have, just things that don't have any links?
So in the particular case of what you have, there are templates, right, for the other two types of governance in some form. Like there's files there, right? I thought
there's templates, but there's no docs.
Yeah. My suggestion in that very specific case is that I want to help people find those templates, just because we don't have the nice guidance doc, the how-to doc to go with it. At the very least, we could just link to the doc. And I think that's what I was trying, and I guess failing to say in the review, is that instead of just saying stub, be like, more guidance is coming soon, but here's the template,
Right.
So at least they can find it. But in general, I would avoid pages that just say coming soon if we can't be linking to anything useful,
Yeah. Okay. Anything else in governance? Maintainer circle, I have not had time to do anything on organizing a maintainer circle. I was afraid this would be the case when both Stephen and Paris dropped out. And it has continued to be the case, unfortunately.
Hey, Josh, I have a question about maintainer circle.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the right forum to ask, so you can tell me to stuff it.
What?
Do we maybe want to try to recruit somebody else who's able to run this more often? Because I feel like maybe
we would love to do so.
Yeah.
We would absolutely love to recruit somebody else, because It's been spare time to death. And
Yeah.
and importantly, Maintainer Circle is something that CNCF project maintainers have specifically asked for. So they want it to happen. They actually show up in fairly good numbers when it does happen. So and this would be amazing. Speaking of non-code contributors, the person who organizes this doesn't have to know more than the barest CNCF surface, of what is cloud native. We really just need somebody with some event management experience, because the work of Maintainer Circle is putting together a couple of facilitation leaders and a time and a place and either video or a location at KubeCon, depending on the cycle. And we even have suggestions in terms of topics and people we can connect them with, if somebody can do the legwork of pulling it all together.
How about, I'll reach out to some people I know who, are good at organizing, and we'll see if we can find somebody who's interested, and maybe, put out some tweets and stuff, maybe some messages in a couple Slack channels to see, especially in the Maintainer Circle channel, to see if someone would like to help make this happen more often.
If we only had a job board.
Oh man, that job board is there's a lot to run one well. And I don't think we have people. You have to pay someone to run something like that. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, and like I said in the contributor growth meeting, we tried this in Kubernetes, and our problem was that we couldn't get requests from the SIGs without like tracking down each individual SIG leader and asking them one-on-one. That was the only thing that worked, and it was way too much effort.
Yeah.
Nate?
Yeah.
Do we just, maybe this is an aside, but the Linux Foundation website has a job board on it. Is there any way to leverage that for some of what we're doing?
I mean, I don't think the problem is the physical or like the technical solution of like, where do we put the board? It's that it takes dedicated people who aren't rolling on and off occasionally. Like you need someone who's just on it all the time, wrangling people and getting them to say what they need help with, and making sure all the listings are up to date, and, just coordinating and making it happen.
Wouldn't it, I mean, like, I don't know. I think it just probably depends project on project, right? But like, I think some projects may want to, I mean, like I see it more as an offering that you can post something here if you need something. If you don't, well, bad luck. It's you're the one looking for someone, and you're not really kind of using the tools. So I don't know. So I think like, I don't know, just an idea. Like I probably think like if we asked the CNCF if they could do like maybe a tab for like jobs and like open source stuff, like I don't know, where you're looking for something where it's like clear and you can see like all the things that are actually just like contributing to open source. And then like when they reach out to the projects once a year for whatever, and then kind of say like, hey, here's a reminder if you are looking for specific roles, and then just see if they take it or not.
Yeah, I think I like Catherine's idea. I think we can, once if like, really, every day, that's tough, right? But we can set, a time, like each year, how many times we reach out to for example, either every month or every quarter, we reach out to, each project, and then ask, is there any help you need, or any new contributors or maintainers, you need, because we found out there are some projects that really need, but other projects they don't. So for those projects, I think if they need maintainers, this is a good offer, right? We are helping, this tag is helping them to connect with the people who would like to contribute. So we can get that. We can set a time like either every quarter, every month. Of course, we need someone. I understand what Caroline is saying. We need someone to do this. And I know in the project's annual report, at least for Kubernetes, it listed they need, which SIG they need help. They have that information, but that's an annual report. I think each year it's a little bit longer, too long. I think we can do probably every quarter. We reach out to just send like a survey or some form to get that information, and then we post it on some places, centralized place, and the TOC can help, broadcast that information. And then
it would be good actually to think about how the TOC can help, because Kathy, one of our major problems that we've had in this tag is we don't have any good way to reach the project maintainers. There is no channel that more than 10% of the project maintainers will read.
You say you have no way, you don't know their email or their.
If we email them each individually, sure, but that's a lot of work. That requires like a staff member.
Oh, okay, I see. Is that way we can construct such an email aliens? You can
No,
see.
I mean, there is a maintainer's email list, but according to staff, it's already the case that the maintainers largely don't read that.
Oh, I've got an idea. I mean, the CNCF must have like a, like a, what's it called? Like a CMS or something. So not CMS, what's called? Like a mail.
We have a sheet that has the list.
Yeah, but like if it's like there are ways you can like send emails to people so they look like, of course, right now it just goes to everyone and everyone kind of, it's like clear it's a big email blast, but you can send like the marketing tools, right? You just send something and it says like, hi Nate, blah blah blah. So it looks more personalized and it's like it doesn't look like these like something. You can make them so they look actually they come from one person.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know that we have that tool. I know that we do have lists of folks, right? And there's actually there's I believe there's a public list I think on GitHub somewhere that I can find the link for, and there's we have an internal list of everybody's email address. And I agree with Josh's comment that the maintainers email list that we have, so there's a list on CNCF.io that we use for that one is not well used by the maintainers, but we do have I don't know that I could sort of share it without sort of going through the process of making sure that I'm allowed to, but it's like we do have that list, but if we want to get to everybody, I'm not sure that as the CNCF, we often have the need to do a giant email blast like that, but I have a feeling that if it were me sending it, it would be like to Nate, and then everybody else would like be BCC'd on the email. So it's not a great solution, but the answer is, I mean, yes, we have that information. I think the question is how do we best use it or make it available for these types of things if we choose that. If we decide that is the best way forward.
Yeah, okay, that's why I think, for sure. I think BCC is better than, because people don't want to receive so many emails, right? Ask for another way. I was thinking, okay, just brainstorming, whether we can ask people to sign up, ask those maintainers. So each part, we have how many projects? Like over 100 projects. So each party has some maintainers, and then we can ask those party to sign up. Maybe I will raise this issue at the CNCF TOC meeting, when in the annual report of each project, we can ask them to see whether they would like to sign up. Say, okay, if you're interested, if you need, you are interested to get this email asking for, give you an offer, give those project offers, say, okay, you need any new contributor or maintainers. If they say, yes, we would like to, get this request. If they don't need it, they don't reply. If they need it, they reply, right? Say, yes, we need. Or something, or another way is we can have some centralized place, create a web page, a centralized link, and then ask them to sign up. If you need any new contributors, right? What expertise do you need? Which area, technical area, right? Ask them to put there. Yeah, so that's on the project side who need help. And then on the contributor side, I'm wondering whether, Caroline or Catherine or anyone else have any idea how we connect that? On the maintenance side, does that make sense? Or you need any help from the TLC? Any help you think? I'm hearing that, yeah, it's a maintainer list, right?
It does sound a little bit, and I don't know, is that the issue, that like we do have a way to communicate, but people don't react to it, right? Generally,
Yeah.
so they just ignore it. But at the same time, I would say like, well, they need, oh, actually, sorry, Noah had the hands up like for a while, so maybe I'll just.
Well, it's actually on this same topic here, because I think one of the problems we're dealing with in this scenario is more human behavior and less whether or not they're aware of the process. I think, just of myself around the house, why wasn't this on the shopping list? Because I didn't have the shopping list in my hand when I remembered that we needed it. I think we're going to have a similar scenario where if we want to go through and we want to push the maintainers to be able to identify the roles and the contributors that they need to help with their projects, we need to facilitate a way in reminders, not, hey, please tell us all the things that you've thought of over the last 30, 60, 90 days where you might need help, but to facilitate a way where when that thought comes up, when they say, oh, we've just identified a pain point right now, an easy way for them to identify that outwardly so that when they feel the pain, they can then identify and send up a flag and say, this is a place where we need a contributor because we know right now, and don't have it wait days, weeks, whatever it is, until the next reminder comes through.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. I think it's like more like a push model than the pull model. Yeah, so when they need, they can,
Great.
Yeah.
So this discussion is vital for the tag, but we have a couple of things that we have deadlines on, and I want to jump to those, and then we can come back to this discussion with whatever time we have left. So one of them is KubeCon. So we have a pod in the CNCF Pavilion at KubeCon. We need people to sign up to help us staff it. And there's a link from the notes. You want to say more about that, Catherine?
No, yeah, just that. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of cool that we have it, so we get like the opportunity to talk to other maintainers. But yes, it's like every morning. It's just a 2-hour shift, so we are trying to get like one person per 2 hours. So it's like it's not like a huge commitment. So I think we need 4 more people at least. If more want to join, sometimes it's nice to have like 2 people on the booth, but I think having one during each time slot is of course key here. Yeah, so hopefully people sign up. So far it's only Dawn and me. And yeah, so I don't know, do we want to talk about yeah, so and then like I think it would be nice to have like we have to start thinking about what we're going to do there. We want to have a little bit of giveaways, so I think having stickers, of course. We could have, like, I know that the cartographers group had like a booth last time, and the CNCF did like a little brochure. I don't know if it's like something like, I don't know exactly what we could do, like a little like this is, yeah, maybe like value proposition of the tag, or a little something that people can take away. And then yeah, like we will have a monitor. Okay, just presentation loop. Yeah, so I think we should think of what we could do like little demos, right? Like if we can, because like there are going to be like different people each day, so we should have a plan of what exactly we should be showing, right? Like the website, like the different templates, and everyone should kind of know there should be like a little script, so we know what to show people when they come to the booth, and and make sure that we have like consistent message, and we're not like each person like telling something completely different. So that's something that we would have to create. Josh, you said like a presentation loop. What do you mean exactly?
Oh, we have a number of presentations that we've done about the tag. So one of the things that we can put on the screen is just one of those presentations looping.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just like the videos, and then if someone comes, we can stop it and then do like a yeah.
It would be good to have a one screen sort of summary of everything the tag does. So one slide that has, given that somebody's going to be relatively close up, sort of a summary of the different activities of the tag and the different ways that we help projects.
Yeah. Well, we could have like a little like kind of a little like a slide or two with that, how to get in touch, and then a demo, and then we create like a little bit, not a script, but like talking points, right? Like first, this is what the tag is, introduce a tag. So because like we're gonna have volunteers as well, so we have to make sure that they know what to do and are not like volunteering but don't really just so everyone is prepared. So something to think about. Yeah, I can get started with that, and then we can discuss offline, like with that slide that you said, and then like what to show exactly. Oh, and then the other thing, like the panel discussion for the podcast was an idea, but I think like maybe now if we're doing the survey, and for those, like, so the CNCF is doing that survey, and we kind of asked if we could be highlighted as the tag as a part of that survey, so we get awareness, right? And then I think they said we could even be like the spokesperson or whatever. So it's like if it's like us, talking about what came out and so on. So that gives us an opportunity as well to raise awareness. So maybe like if we manage to do the survey by KubeCon, which is what they're planning to do, that would probably, we could probably like they would probably do some media around that, and it would be us. And then last thing is like the contributors. Well, any questions regarding that or comments or whatever regarding KubeCon?
No, you put on there some additional activity there, a panel or something.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like the panel. So that was an idea I had before, like coming up with a pitch that we can tell, like a pitch that we can send the CNCFs for us to be on a panel or do a podcast or whatever. But since we're doing the survey and we're going to be the face of the survey and its plan, so I don't think we need that, because probably we're going to get some media and stuff through that. Because we should come up with something each KubeCon that, some idea that would be suitable for a podcast or a live stream or something. So we get a little, but I think the survey will do that. So that was before we had our call with the PR team.
Okay, yeah, I'm busy commenting on the survey here.
Oh, okay.
As you speak, just because Chad was proposing cutting the what projects do you contribute to question.
Yeah, and that seems important, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then I think for the contributors survey, we're very close. So glad you're looking at. So I think it's important to try and see if we can close as many comments as possible and clean it up. Chat said that we could actually, like the date was September 19 that he had like had planned, but like he's like today in an email he said like it could be even next week if we're ready, and it feels like we're very close. So yeah, so let's try to get, so if anyone wants to look at it again and comment on it, but like let's try to comment and close everything to have it clean maybe by Monday. Because since we want to do it, finalize it by KubeCon, it would be good to have that extra week. Yeah, I think that's all I had. Any questions regarding survey? Or I know a lot of people have been adding comments and so on, which is great.
I think we're good. There's still some work to do on some of the individual questions. Like I wanted to take question 4. Question 4 has gotten enough options that I want to rewrite it as a choose all that apply.
Mm-hmm.
But it's complicated to do that, right? Because if it's choose all that apply, then the options need to be non-exclusive. The problem is that what we have there as answers is a mixture of exclusive and non-exclusive options, which is going to get us possibly responses that we can't use. But yeah. But so we have until the 19th.
No. Like
Well,
he said like we could do it next week if we get it.
Right. Yeah.
So that would be tomorrow, today and tomorrow. Because I think we're closed, right? It's not like if we can get it ready by Monday, it would give us an additional week to promote it by KubeCon. Because they want to they want to advertise like the survey results at KubeCon.
Okay. One of the other questions that got cut was whether or not a project was doing something well.
For that, I have a suggestion. If like I've been evangelizing Apache template that is pretty much based on this scenario to get the data from GitHub and from all the other sources that we have. But we have we have other projects as well similar to that. Like LFX Insight provides aggregation of all those data in one place. And we have some other projects as well that are related to chaos community, and some of them are from Apache Software Foundation has one more project that it uses internally that is being led by Sharon Foga, and it is particularly based on checking the mailing list data to get sort of insight of how active a community is. So I think I was like writing an article on this whole thing that the different tools that we have in this domain, different tools, what really makes them different. Like some of them only gets data out of the sources. Some of them goes one step ahead and tries to convert those data into metrics that can provide us with a better insight. So that is something that I'm like currently working on, and that might be helpful. I'm not sure, but just wanted to put these things.
Okay. I mean, that sounds good in general. I'm not clear in the connection between that and the survey.
Yeah, so a bit about the how we can access a project's health, how healthy a project is. So by that, like Chaos has defined some set of metrics, and similarly, those tools that are being developed, they have lots of different metrics that might be able to kind of analyze, like it is totally based on the data that we are extracting from the GitHub, from the Slack channels, and from different sources that particular community is using. For example, they might have some sort of product management tools like Jira or something of that sort, and they're getting their tasks done very frequently. It means that the community is pretty healthy, right? And if their GitHub is very active, like every day hundreds of people are commenting, every day lots of people are taking lots of issues, and every day they are merging commits, they are opening lots of issues. It means that the community is healthy from a contributor perspective. There is high chances that contributor will be able to get a new let's say a new project whenever he or she visits their GitHub page, right? And if the community is chatting very actively on Slack, it means that the community is very engaging in terms of the interaction that they have with their new users. And similarly, by going one step ahead, if someone has like more insight in fields of like NLP and stuffs, we can even sort of put another metric such as how much interactive the community is in terms of the new users that are coming on board and how much active the maintainers of the project is. These sort of metrics can be used to access the help. And right now we have lots of open source tools that are already providing these functionalities, as I've said. So I think they can be used in relations with that. Like Chaos itself has one of the project. I have not totally studied it, but they do have one. So that's all.
Just like, yeah, I mean, those tools are really great to kind of, as you said, like to assess project health. But the survey is focusing on contributor and their like the friction they're experiencing. So here we are asking contributors themselves about their experience. So contributor experience more than project health in general. So, so yeah, great tools, but I think like it's not really the focus of this survey, unless I'm getting something wrong.
I think I missed the question. I thought that it is kind of related to, sorry.
Yeah. No, we're asking, and there's a link in the agenda where you can see the different questions. So yeah,
actually I would say, Sanskar, can we put you on the agenda for a contributor growth meeting?
Yeah, sure.
Because, and particularly I'd like, in between now and then, if you could take a look at CNCF dev stats.
Yeah.
And we can talk about a comparison between that and some of the Apache tools and things that we might be able to add.
Sure.
That would be
really I would love to.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so what do we need to?
We need to just basically sort of finish hammering out and get the questions and stuff really solid. And then find out who's going to design the actual survey. Is it going to be me, or is one of the CNCF staff going to do it?
The CNCF will drive all that, yeah.
Okay.
We just have to provide the questions.
Okay. Okay, so that's the last bit. I've added some additional comments.
So just like I think it's easier in well, it just depends, like when you're responding to chat, but in general, I think like instead of putting comments, because it gets really messy, just maybe put it as suggestions, because I'm sure if it's like your suggestion, it's probably good. So, and then people can just accept it or not. Because the time, I think it's easier as well for the CNCF to kind of see like, okay, this is what we want. I don't know if it's always, if it's just like an open question or something, it might not. And there's like some things like, let me see. And we close this, like there are some questions with you and Dawn, I think they can be closed. So if we can, clean that up, translate most things into actual suggestions so it's easier. Because I would rather kind of send the CNCF something, a clean document, if possible, by Monday.
Yeah.
And then we have 3 more minutes for the weekly tweet. Any ideas? Any new resource or something? I'm not that in the loop right now.
Oh.
A mentorship one. Something about mentorship. Come on, we've got the mentorship team here.
Actually, that's a good point. I should we just finished up the summer semester of the LFX mentorship, and I have not yet collated all of the data that we normally do, and I'm actually still waiting on a couple of mentors to get their reviews in. or their evaluations in. But there should be, we should have a tweet saying something along the lines of CNCF is celebrating the end of, as we usually do at the end of a semester. So that's something that we could totally do. I'm not normally with that particular tweet. We wait for a CNCF blog post as well, which collects some of the blog posts that the mentees have put together. So I don't know if I could get it together because we're at Thursday, and next week I'm traveling for OSS. But we should have something available by next week, I would think. I don't know if I've got anything for this. If this week is defined by the end of Friday.
I think it's always for within a week, right? I don't know, because otherwise Thursdays would always be very tight if we decide Thursday.
I do have a thought on that. If we were to talk about the mentoring results, I don't know if we've done this before on Twitter. Would it be well received to try and get some of the mentors and mentees together to do a Twitter AMA for other people who might be interested in the program in the future?
Oh, that sounds good.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get that together within again, because I'm traveling for OSS next week, so I wouldn't be able to get that together for this week. But I think that for the subsequent week, I think that would be a good activity, unless Jay or somebody else from the mentorship team is interested in doing that.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
So let me actually interrupt because we had somebody, Gatwery, if your sound is working, you said you wanted to actually help with putting together the sort of tweet of the week thing.
Yeah, and I think Valentine, that's is the name.
That is sorry, Valentina.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Valentina.
I'm going by the handle.
Makes it difficult if it doesn't match the name.
Yeah, Valentine.
Okay, maybe next time. I'm not kind of prepared now. Yeah, I was kind of traveling, so I just opted for the meeting and prepared.
Okay, next time is fine too, whenever you're ready. But so
Okay.
just Nate, because we're already like, so you could do something for next week. So we have that.
Yeah, as a part of closing out the summer semester, yeah. I do expect that we should be putting a tweet together for that. And I was going to reach out to I believe Jesse is the person that I've worked with before on that for both a blog post and a tweet to bring that up. So
awesome. Well, I think that counts. We have a problem solved. And then don't forget to post it in our Slack channel so that everyone in the tag can share it as well.
Sure.
Awesome. I think we're done.
Yeah, we are out of time. So we'll continue this in future meetings and on Slack and on comments in various docs, depending on which discussion it is. But thank you everyone for attending. And see you online and also next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Cheers.
Bye.